We meet in Davos.
Yes, I remember. It seems like a different life. Almost seems far away, right?
Completely different. Crazy, no?
So tell me, where are you right now?
Yes.
Where are you locked down? Can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry, I could not hear you for a second.
Yeah, it stopped sometime. My internet is a little bit weird today. Where are you locked down right
in
now?
Spain.
Madrid?
No, I mean in a beautiful place in the nature, in the southeast, in the beach, in a small village.
Nice.
I have a house in front of the sea in the ocean, and yes, I'm here very. I've been here for the last 3 months. After Davos, I came here and I stayed here.
Ah, really? Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
And
you?
so I am right now in Greece, but I was in
Pakistan, no?
I was in Pakistan for 2 months. Yeah, so I passed the whole lockdown there practically.
Wow.
Very
And why
period.
have you been there for the lockdown?
So because from Davos, actually, uh, there was one of our guests, Rehan Alawala, who was there. I don't know if you met him.
Who?
I don't know. Rehan Alawala.
No.
And he's from Pakistan. He wanted to make it similar space in Karachi, in Pakistan. So I initially went there to check the space and see what can be done and see how the idea will need to be transformed and all that. Of course, plans changed a lot, as you can imagine, due to the whole situation. We ended up like doing completely different things, but it was definitely a very interesting period.
Wow. I've never been in Pakistan, but I cannot imagine like this period in Pakistan is quite more like, I don't know.
To tell you the truth, not really. I mean, it was probably the lightest lockdown that I could have ever had.
Mm.
I didn't even realize that was locked down, like practically, to tell you the truth. Mm, I tend to believe that the more the lockdown found us like in a place that we have chosen to be instead of a place that we need to be,
Yeah.
the lighter it was, because I've been talking with many people that in different lockdown situations. And I'm realizing that, like, there's so many people saying, "Oh, I was so lucky during the lockdown because I have this beautiful house, like with a beautiful garden, and like all my family's around, and my friends are around." And this is more design than luck.
Yeah. I think we could see like the challenge. I mean, to be with during this time, more than where you were, like the house or the environment. I think that we had each one of us had a big challenge to live during this period. Yeah.
It's definitely a very interesting period, right? Like it's a
Yeah.
period that brings up a lot, of course. But you
Yeah.
know what? I was realizing that yes, okay, we have a new enemy to fight with, but the old enemies are still there, right? Lack of communication, depression, the separation. These are still there, and they are in every country. There's no country without them.
Yeah.
So in the end, it was just a magnifying glass for me. This period of things we didn't want to see before, or we were
Yeah.
just setting aside because
Yeah.
we were too busy, right?
For me, it's clear that I had to be here because of my relation with my family. And I really had to, wow, a big, enormous challenge to be around my brothers that I've been never living with them, and we decided to come to this house to spend this time together. And yeah, and we had a big opportunity to work with all our staff, no?
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I can
Big.
imagine.
Hmm.
To tell you the truth, I think it was a little bit like similar but different in my case. Like I had to be with another family to appreciate my family, or to see that in the end, all families have their own things, families have their own, like there's no perfect family, right? That sometimes you just tend to just overcharge yours. Oh my God, it's like that, and it's the other. In the end, yeah, probably every family has their own things there, right?
Yeah.
And skeletons inside the wardrobe. So I didn't even make you introduce yourself. So I would like to hear a little bit of who you are and what you do before we start getting deeper into that.
Yeah, I would like. Okay, what? How long do we have for today? Because I have another meeting at 6. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if it's enough. I would like to have some enough time for sharing what. But would you would like to like?
So as I told you, like before we started, I have been feeling like the need to have some sessions that from inspiring women for
Okay.
inspiring women, but not only, right? Like for whoever wants to hear. And I was just thinking about that like half an hour ago, and then I'm like, but I'm working with Natalia. Why should I just postpone it for a future time that I will have this meeting? We tend to postpone things and like over plan them for the future to have this session with beautiful women. I'm like, I'm having a beautiful woman talking to me like in 15 minutes. Why shouldn't we just start with her? So that's why I think we can just. I mean, it's mostly sharing the way we see the world and the way we act in this world and the way we are in this world. Like nothing more. I don't think there's anything. I mean, what else in the end? What more?
Okay. Okay. Well, well, I'm now in a moment of, I can say, like seeing a lot of pieces coming together. I'm like in this period of my life, and very, very rich moment for me as a woman as well, because now I have 46, and I've been doing a lot of things in my life, and now I feel that I did a lot, um, and I really want now like to have to give me the possibility to embrace the present,
Yeah.
embrace the present with the tools that I have, with the shadow that I have, with the light that I have, and I am just in this kind of moment, embrace everything. This is something that can describe my moment now, and I'm a very passionate about the possibilities of the human being to, I mean, to create and to grow. Like wow, I've been all my life like asking myself a lot of things from I was very, very child. Why we live where we live, why we have relations like that, why we have this family, you know why we
Mhm.
through all of the like big existential questions from I was a child, and I was trying to deal with, no, during all my life, and I decided to start to work to study sociology and psychology. And after these studies that I really was like very identified with, because it was very like tough in the university and everything, but and I decided to start to work in human development in for companies, how we can try to like travel around the world and know different I mean type of lives, and how we can help groups of people to identify their talent, their potential, and to find like the best way to give this gift to the world. No, this was my dream. And I decided to work for companies because it was something that just came to me, and I had the possibility to work in amazing companies, like with a lot of abundance about, everything. And I was in this like kind of path for almost 20 years, traveling around the world, having a lot of responsibilities, doing amazing things, enjoying a lot, working with a lot of men. Like I was like always, leading groups of people with a lot of men, not so many women. And after like quite like 10 years, I started to think that and to feel that something was not very organic in that path. Even I was always taking care of myself, like dancing, doing yoga. I mean, I was always with my spiritual, artistic, more in the art side, but I started to identify this not balance, inside of myself, not coherence about this part of feminine and masculine inside of me.
How did you
Um,
notice? Like what
what?
triggered? How did you notice that? What triggered this
Yeah,
realization?
I started to be sick.
Mm, yeah, of course.
And after, I started to be sick, and this sickness came with me for 10 years, almost 8, until I was completely like, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
burned out, broken. And I was starting to listen to myself, but I really had to cut a big, cut when I decided just to live style of life. But I was like asking myself during all this period, and I decided, and I was doing this like reflections and investigations inside of this system, no, inside of this economic system and this masculine system, and I was trying to fight. I was fighting a lot from my masculine, and I really lost all my femininity. It was not all, because I always keep my dance and my art, and I always was very feminine in that side, in that part of my life of artistic and spiritual.
Mhm.
But in my social and my work and my relations, I was very masculine, and I thought, "Oh, this is not working at all." And I decided to, wow, I really need to keep this message about my body. And my sickness was a chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, so something that I really had a lot of pain in my body. My immunologic system was very, locked down, and I started to be very, very sick. And I decided to listen really deep, my body, my soul. And I started like, it was like 10 years ago, decided to cut to stop this kind of life. And I started to give me the opportunity to be with myself and with these messages. I went to South America, and I been living there for so many years. I was between Spain and South America, and finally I decided to stay there in Peru living. And during these years, I was trying to find this kind of, healing process, no, and and I was in contact with the forest and with indigenous people, and doing my path with sacred plants, and at the same time I was studying and doing transformational programs, like in a transpersonal psychology at the university, and I was doing very like deep in different kinds of conscious coaching, and like studying very like in very good schools and universities, just to see how we can combine. At the same time, I was doing this with the nature and with this, like from this anthropological side, and at the same time I was studying methodologies to incorporate and to heal myself in all of this process. And I was living with this period of life, and after quite years like studying and healing myself, investigating as well in this part of my artistic dream. I was going very deep about this possibility of learning about the information in our ADN, how we can express our wisdom through all this information that is in our cells. in our body. And I was studying this transpersonal psychology and dance and Buto dance and different, like I've been working with different masters and people, like going deep in this really, because I really found that I was losing something that I really had to reconnect to myself through my body, through my, I'm a very sensitive person, very, very subtle energy. I really have this like very subtle, yeah, energy to be in contact with everything inside and outside. And after this period in South America, healing myself and studying and going very in a very deep process of transformation during almost 10 years, I decided to do this. At the same time, I started to work with a partner in Peru. She had a company, a project, and I was working with her, and we started to. Hello? Aliki, I lost you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Natalia?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
I can't see you. Sorry, my internet was down.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You were telling me about your dance, though. I remember that.
Yeah, and I started to work with a partner in Peru with a project about the transformation for conscious leadership, and we started to create programs for people who wants to really go inside and find this alignment between the deep values and the projects and actions. And
So, what does conscious leadership means? Like, give us what does conscious leadership means? What is the difference between normal leadership and conscious leadership?
Yeah, we said that because what I found in this corporate world and the system in general, I could see a lot of pain and suffer about a lot of people trying to do good things. Not always people wanted to do bad things, but I found a lot of people, myself, including myself, first of all, trying to do very good things, but without this alignment between what is really important for me in the life. What is this gift that I want to serve with, no? And I realized that I could not do this without finding this alignment between myself, my really deep values, and my daily actions. And what I mean is that it's very simple. Something very simple is to be like in coherence between what is really, what is that moves you to live and what are you doing in your daily life. And this is what I found inside of me. And I started to create these programs, including this contact with this information, this wisdom inside of our body, and in contact with nature, and with these methodologies about language and coaching and how we can define this dream with words and with projects that we can share with others. And for me, this conscious leadership needs these very safe spaces for be authentic and for be like open to be like a person who can
My internet is not on our side. I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I put my video and audio off in case that helps you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes it's
It's
stable,
okay.
and sometimes it's
It's
all
okay.
over.
We can flow. And since that, yeah, something that I was living inside of myself, I started to share with others, and just to create this space where we can be authentic and where we can flourish, no, something inside of us, from inside to outside, from our deep values, our this gift to outside to share with others in the terms of projects or art or business, or doesn't matter the way to do this, but with this a river of life, no, from inside to outside. And this is what I mean about conscious leadership. And the other very important is the complementarity inside of us and outside of us, the complementarity between our masculine and feminine inside of us, and how we can complement ourselves with others without feeling this resistance, without feeling this fight. Because in my life, I really felt that when I couldn't find this complementary inside of me, I always be like fighting with this part of myself that I couldn't find inside of me with others, especially with men. And I really was working in the last years, and I'm still doing very like committed process of complementarity inside of me and with others, with the people that I work with the people I have my relations. And this is the two things that I really can say, like a frame, no, about this safe and authenticity space inside of myself, and how we can share this with others to be complement, how we can like preserve my identity, and how we can be part of the others with differences, but with this idea of community of complementarity. And this masculine and feminine, it was very very like touching me, because I was living in this Andean cosmovision around myself in Peru and Ecuador, and especially in Peru. And I was very touched from this really clear like cosmovision about that everything is complementary, everything needs to be complement.
How
The
did
earth and
this
the sky,
begin?
feminine, masculine, sun, everything. This cosmovision, Andean cosmovision, this has very clear vision about that. And I started to create this like a frame of conscious leadership, or river of life, or something like, to how we can be ourselves and to complement with others for creation and actions. And I was like creating this like kind of programs and methodologies just for this exploration together with others. And I came back from Peru. I decided like a couple of years ago, come back from there, and started to work with this bridge between South America and Europe. And because I really felt that I wanted to come back to this rational world to be like starting to complement this feminine and masculine, heart and mind. and I started to work here with people. I went to Asia also, and I was having very nice experiences in Indonesia, in Bali. A really amazing experience about femininity, this culture about the Indonesian, and complement with Andeans and this more shamanic and masculine energy. And I had my personal, journey in this complementary between South America and Asia.
How do you
And
see the difference or the similarities of the two continents?
you mean similarities?
And differences in the two continents in terms of healing work?
Yeah, for me it's very different, to be honest. For sure, this is always the observer.
Mm-hmm.
In my observer, I really had an experience like very deep and quite tough in South America.
Mm-hmm.
The path of sacred plants and this kind of cosmovision, shamanic world, and is for me it was quite not easy going through that, especially physically, because I'm very sensitive and I had amazing experiences. I mean, with pain and suffer.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I felt that it was something that I was sure that I had to go through that. I really felt that it was something that I need to be with. Always with, taking care of myself, but in the edge, no? I was like in
Yeah.
the edge of, I don't know. And this is what my experience. Of course, I had a lot of, I mean, embracing from the Mother Earth, taking care of me always in South America. A big heart, and I had that feminine battle always with the people, because the people that I was living with was amazing, like very, very feminine and big mother energy. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, this path with the sacred plants, and it was quite tough, a little bit like
Yeah, it's more,
I
it's
needed
more, yeah, for sure.
like courage, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
courage to be with, like a warrior.
Yeah,
For me, it's a path, is the path of the warrior.
true.
And
Yeah.
in Indonesia, when I went to Bali, after all of this process in South America, and wow, suddenly I was like holded by this, I mean, amazing, like flowers, people very soft, like everything aesthetically very like, beautiful, artistic. I mean, all this music, all this massage. I mean, everything was like, wow, sensitivity and spirituality, but very subtle.
Mm.
And this was something that I found, wow, this is something that I really, this kind of meditation and working with the body, but much more, in a feminine like energy. And of course, this is for me, South America had as well this the shadow and this tough part. Sorry, Indonesia. And the second time that I was there, I felt that confrontation as well with my, I mean, necessity of seeing the shadow of my femininity. And I had a quite tough experience in Bali also for growing
Mm-hmm.
in terms of relations, especially with women.
Okay.
uh,
But
and
relations with women have been changing anyhow. So I have observed that the last year that I mean the last 5 years overall, but the last year the woman to woman relationships that have really started shifting
yeah,
to
it's true.
better. Yeah. They used to
It's
be
true.
very tough, actually. They used to be extremely tough. I hardly had women friends in my
Mhm.
life. Now I really have some very beautiful women around me and very supportive, like completely different dynamics. So I feel that there's a shift happening also. And the more we
Yeah.
hear the feminine, the more this feminine doesn't need to confront, right? So it
Yeah.
just relaxes into its being, and then it's easier to approach, and you can create
Mhm.
connections and all that.
Yeah, I think this for sure. This the places is just the frame that I choose for whatever I have to see inside of myself. No, it's like this mirror. This
I
this
feel the
this.
place have an energy also,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure, for
and
sure.
you're very. I was realizing that about Can you hear me?
Yes, now.
So I was realizing I was talking with a friend who's working a lot in spirituality.
Now I'm losing you.
I'm back. Are you still there? Natalia, are you still there? Can you hear me? Ah, there you are. Just trying to fix. So yes, I was realizing that the plant medicine, as you say, it's quite masculine energy. It's quite very interesting work, right? Like, don't take me wrong at all. I really believe a lot in them, but realizing that meditation is more the feminine way of approaching spirituality, and the plant medicine is more the yang way of approaching it.
Yeah. I think in my path, I realized that for this complementarity that I really had I mean, inside of me, I needed to see my masculine and feminine in my relations, in my life, and I choose South America because I really had that call and say,
Mm.
I really wanted to go to the jungle and stay there for so many years. And after I felt that come back to another energy and I went to Asia, I exploring these energies and yeah, and very, I think I never say this is better or whatever I mean, everybody needs to find this. I really try to like put that seed of interest of in the people to be authentic, to find, like this river, no, how to explore, and that's it, with a lot of respect for this transformation and the processes, and with a lot of trust about the possibilities of the human being to grow and create. And this is what I can tell you.
And now, how do you see yourself? Like, where do you find yourself right now? Like after all this period, and are you in introspection? Are you in action? How, in which phase?
I'm
What's this
now
period?
more like I can say like in the integration of this contemplation and action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really in this period of lockdown. I could explore day by day this combination about contemplation, action, and wow, I could see inside of myself how uh, how important is to put the energy and the intention very, with a lot of clarity, because I really have that both, a lot of intensity inside of me about this Jan and Jin. I can stay doing nothing and, releasing, and I really can be very like, I mean, masculine and working a lot, and now I'm in this integration, I can say, like being like embracing this present, as I told you at the beginning of the conversation. And I'm trying to embrace my present and the present around, because to be honest, it was overwhelmed, like what is, happening, and wow, what I can, be in my center. And I started to work in Davos with a project with a partner that I met in Bali 1 year ago.
Which
We had
one?
Alvaro. We have
Ah, yeah.
yeah, Alvaro. We have been together in Bali, but we didn't meet in Bali. But after Bali, we met in Spain, and we said, "Wow, we have been together in Bali in the same places, but we met in Spain."
Exactly the same with one with Tom from our team. We were together in Holistic Visions in the symposium. We didn't met there, but and we met for I don't even know how. Like we just got connected in Facebook, and then we realized that we were both in the same symposium. So very similar. Sometimes the paths are not ready to cross. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
which project with Alvaro?
And 1 year ago, we met in Spain, and we decided to have a commitment between us with this intention of complementarity about masculine and feminine inside of us, and help us as a woman, as a man, and in our personal path, our personal, I mean, transformation, and at the same time, we decided to be together to explore how we can complement our, I mean, our intentions
That's
about
nice.
our dreams, no? And I was in this. He really was very interested about how to complement this vision of this how technologies can help for this new way of life with compassion and empathy, and he was very interested about, wow, how we can, I mean, like complement with this kind of experiences in the nature, with ancestral wisdom, with leadership, what I was doing until that moment, no? And when I met him, I was planning a journey in Peru, just living in Europe, and I was planning this that I did last year in August with a group of people from Europe, and he was very interested about this kind of a project, and we started to meet each other, to give us time for being together, and we started to do something together in Davos, and where Dimitrios was helping us with
Yeah,
the
I'm
music.
glad to hear. I haven't like after Davos there was a lot of changes from myself, so I haven't keep track of what was flourishing, through this meeting. So I'm very happy to hear that this came out from Blood Base. Yeah,
Yes,
very
to
happy to
be
hear
honest, it's very, when I see your name just in contact with Dimitrios doing something, and I remember you, and I saw this about feminine, and say, I felt that because in Davos I really didn't have a lot of contact, like
I didn't have
to,
time for anything else. Also, like I just met so few people because we were just like running to make the thing happen. You
yeah,
know.
too many things happening, and I was a little bit
Yeah.
like too much, and I was concentrated in my service, and that's it. I
Yeah.
was not very like network, but after I was like, I contact with 3-4 people that I
Mm.
realized that maybe we can just listen each other, and we were doing this experience with Dimitrios with 40 leaders in Davos. It was very nice, and I was doing this experience about conscious leadership through our body, through our values, capacities, with Dimitrios, with the music, and after we did a woman circle
Mm.
that, it was very nice just to integrate that kind of energies. And after Alvaro y yo, someone from Davos invited us to go to Barcelona, worldwide mobile worldwide congress, and
Mhm.
it was cancelled because of coronavirus. And
Oh,
but something alternative emerged, and we decided to go because it was amazing energy, very positive energy, and very wow. And we still decided to go there, and we create a space of wisdom health with conscious leadership, and it was very, very good. And after
nice.
this, we started with this lockdown, and I had a dream one night and said, wow, I really need to continue with something, with action, and with this like energy. And we decided to do this platform, Wisdom Health Online for Conscious Leaders, like a community for holding the transformations that we need to, to live during these vulnerable times. And we did that, and we are working so beautiful with a team that came like people around, and we have a very amazing whole community and people coming, and
That's
we
beautiful.
are.
How is it called again?
What?
How is it called again?
Wisdom Health.
Where can I find it?
You can
Is it
find
like a
you can be part of
or...
this. I will send you the link of Telegram. I will send you now my website with you can see all the flyers in my website. The website, my personal website, the website of Wisdom Health is still, because we are still, doing, and we are working on that. And you can see Telegram group, and you can see my website, and you can see a document in wisdomhealth.io. I will send you in. Can I send you in the chat here?
Yes.
Okay. And it's a very interesting platform that the idea is to work with the, how to hold these transformational personal processes in this kind of moment of vulnerability, and how we can explore this river of life or conscious leadership, about how we can embrace our present, connecting with our past, with ancestral wisdom, and committed with new models of life. Just embracing whatever it is in our process, needing to see and remembering where we are coming from, in contact with nature and people that really are with a lot of wisdom about this. And we are always inviting people with this kind of visions, and the idea is just to cross these visions. And we started to do, with one per week, a lot of webinars, and now we have like one webinar with a dialogue of cohesion between these 3 moments with 3 people. And we are in the middle of internal co-creation process with the team for the website and for our dream. And we are at the same time working with these webinars and projects.
Beautiful. Love it. I would love to see the continuity of it.
Yeah, I will send you this all the links, okay? Now in the
Yes, please. You can also send me in the Facebook chat, whatever works better.
In Messenger, okay?
Yes, also. However it works better.
Okay, I put just join the group in Telegram if you want.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
And I guess you said that you have another call at 6, right? So I guess you want to prepare before that.
Yeah, I can finish at 6. It's no problem.
Okay. Because if you have also at 6, we could go 5 minutes earlier. It is no problem at all. Also, it's nice to have some time. I cannot see you anymore for some reason, though.
Yeah, because I'm typing in the other. Okay. I was writing, but I will do after in the messenger.
So how are you, it's always the question that I like to ask, like, how do you dream this new world that is coming, this new normal that is coming? Because I feel the need to start really dreaming the new normal before we get too afraid and just step back into the old normal. So if you could dream the new normal, how is your dream about it?
I think that I really think in a new model of life in community. I really think that this message of loneliness or all of these, like, feelings and emotions about this situation of not seeing people, not touching, this breakdown of economy, for me is very clear that I was like working in this from quite time, but now I'm very, very like open to co-create with
Mm.
others, and I really like we cannot be more. I mean, personal orientated.
Yeah.
This is like the the thing that I really feel most deep.
Yeah, I have to agree on that, and I have seen many people realizing that when it used to be even difficult to even talk to people the way we talk today. People were really, really calculating if there's something will come up out of this interview or something,
Mm,
instead of just sharing their life paths and their gifts. And it's beautiful to see that people are opening up to understanding that in the end, our safety net is just connections. It's people, right? Like our bank accounts and our companies are not safe anymore. I mean, they were never were. They just like an illusion. But we just start understanding again that it's people who can hold us whenever it's needed.
hmm. Yeah, I think that is needed to do a very like honest. I mean, honest work about our identity, what is really important, and leave the things that are not really important for hold
Mm.
the new identity that we want to share with others, and from that just try to be complement, like make the embrace that difference as the necessity of living together. For and I don't know the form. I don't really need to be close physically with a lot of people. It's not a question of community, like, but for me, it's a state of mind and heart how we can start to be part, but not
Yeah,
like I'm not really connected with this idea that we are one, like this very big thing about we are one and we need to believe on that, because I really need to know how to do the small things in my life. And I think that this is something that everybody needs. From my point of view, is and we can help us a lot in terms of economy, in terms of how we can hold the processes of others, at the same time be holded from
yeah.
others. No, I think
Mhm.
this is like yeah, my what I'm trying to do and what I would like to share with others, what I'm trying. Mhm.
In the end, it's important each one of us just to create whatever they feel that they need to bring in the world, right? Nobody really knows how this will evolve. I mean, we never knew. And we will never know how this whole plan is evolving. That's not the point. The point is just do what we see as the best right now. And then
Mm.
if each one of us does that, it will be a brighter future, like for sure, because we are creating a
Yes.
future in the end. There's not something abstract happening there. Our actions today and our actions tomorrow will be our future. It is our future, actually. So I love that. I love that you're taking a step towards what you believe. Before. And I would like to thank you so much for the time. If you feel like sharing
No,
something like last, uh, feel free
I would
to.
like to. I would like to listen to you. No, I don't know today of, but I would like to listen your gift, your present, whatever.
I can give you a short intro before we go. We have like still 4 minutes. So for me, it was this whole period has been a very interesting period because I was guided to completely let go and surrender with whatever brings, and I have been placed in a lot of very beautiful and interesting duties. So I was so busy during this time because I felt that it was asked from me to create what I was seeing in front of me. So that's how like conscious gems were born. It was, I felt that it was asked from me, because sometimes when things come to you, you really have to understand that you're asked to do things, and then you just have to hold it and make the best that you can out of it. And that's the situation. And so we kickstarted all the whole project, and it's going beautifully, and we are opening like less than a month in France. And it's about what you're saying. It's like what is community? Like, what is community in 2020? What is community after Corona? How it is to live together again with setting new rules, not accepting the old rules, like really understanding what applies, what doesn't apply, giving the time and the space just to be, also to be around others and to be with yourself. So this is what's coming up from my side, and yeah, I can't even say that it's like my project. I was just able to put a piece in it. So we're working on that, and it's a beautiful process personally and in the group, and hopefully it will create a bigger ripple to all the people who will be there and be around us and everybody who's connected. So just really see it as a statement, kind of.
I cannot hear you very well.
Yeah, I also hear it's like if somebody's typing, it's very funny. It's not like a robot is talking to us at the same time that I'm
like
talking.
Noise.
Is it okay for you? Yeah, I have no idea. Some interference. Okay. Maybe we need to take this to talk to another time, I guess. It's very fun. It's like interference. I don't know what this can be. Literally.
When you talk, it's coming like sound, no?
Yeah, it's like we have a robot talking as I'm talking, right?
Yeah, I think maybe it's
I hear the well, it's gonna be for another time then. It's funny. Let's take it to another call.
You can hear me well?
I hear you, but I hear also a crack behind.
Okay.
I don't know what it can be.
But only now, or during the whole conversation?
No, the last like 5 minutes or something.
Okay.
Internet takes its own life.
Was the time for introducing myself, and we can have another meet for
I think so. Sounds like that, right?
And Aliki, what do you want? I really didn't understand your idea about the project. If you want to use this information, or you will tell me what is the idea.
The idea is mostly to have talks with interesting women that can be broadcasted. That's like very simple, as we did today. And like just people who want to share their own story. I think we are missing like inspiring stories from women.
Yeah, but are you gonna do like a post of this, or are you gonna edit the information?
No, this is already posted in my wall, and I will tag you also, so you can share it if you want. And that's it. Easy, simple.
Okay, because I was very spontaneous, and I really said.
We don't need any more fake stories or covering it up,
No, not at all. No, but I didn't know that. To be honest, I'm very authentic, and this is what I try to share. That's
the most important. Like everything else, it's just the story. It's time to become real and really understand everybody has their own path and their own difficulties, journey, and everything, right? That's the really empowering for. It's not just saying big words; it's actually saying the real story.
Yeah, if you want to go in, I'm very, very happy to go to. To explore inside of myself, and to share with other women, and to be inspired from other women. and just to like go deep in one of the specific, topics about, I don't know, femininity or about this kind of leadership, including this. If you want to share, we can
I will let you know
explore.
how. I will let you know how we do this will evolve. I will keep you posted. So, I will send you already the WhatsApp group we have, and then I will just let you know how it evolves. I don't know right now. Let's see.
Okay. I will
Okay.
send you the Telegram group of Wisdom Health and my website.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, my dear, for this call.
Thank you.
Enjoy your
Thank you so
afternoon,
much.
and we are in touch for the rest.
Keep in touch, and we have a tea for sharing a little bit about you. I will appreciate a lot.
Whenever you want.
Ciao, Aliki.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ciao. Besos.